This is Glow in the Dark Radio. The science fiction podcast, with original independent science fiction, written and performed by Mike Luoma, with music by Kevin MacLeod. The Vatican Assassin Trilogy and The Adventures of Alibi Jones by Mike Luoma are available in ebook, trade paperback, and audiobook wherever you find your books online. Get links and details at glowinthedarkradio.com. This is the Science Fiction Podcast, Glow in the Dark Radio. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma, and I have Chapter 26 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest coming up on this episode. Alibi Jones is on the run. Not like a fugitive or anything. At least, not at the moment. No, he's running for his health as he rehabs on Ceres Central. He's running a route through the station designed by his old friend Krish, a route that Krish hopes to be able to turn into an escape route for Alibi, eventually, because there are some people on Ceres Central who don't plan on letting Alibi Jones leave because of the alien leg that he's sporting at the moment. We'll join up with Alibi Jones as he first makes his way along his new route, followed closely by a Solar Alliance security officer, naturally, as we get into Chapter 26 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest on this episode of Glow in the Dark Radio. I do have a little bit of news to share with you. I've got my schedule for Balticon 60, coming up Memorial Day weekend, May 22nd through the 25th. Now, I can't make the trip, unfortunately, but I will be on 5 virtual panels for Balticon 60. So I'll be participating via Zoom. I'll be in the Discord as well. And if you want to find out more and see the schedule, just go to balticon.org, the Baltimore Science Fiction Society's science fiction convention. I've been going for years because they used to have one of the first podcast tracks, new media tracks, as far as conventions go. And so it was a natural place to go. And now I'm still invited back, so I continue to participate. Going to be on 5 different panels, as I said. Saturday at 5:30, I'll be talking about diving into history for story ideas. If you've read Alibi Jones' Blind Eye, that is based on an actual historical event. Real history. Only very slightly changed, too. And then I'm going to be doing 4 panels on Sunday, so Sunday will be the busy day. Creating Believable Futures at 10 a.m., and then at 1, it's Escaping the Self-Publishing Stigma. I think I've done that. As well as anyone can. Hey, you just got to make good-looking books. And good reading books, I suppose. I mean, if they look good and they read like crap, well, they'd be AI, right? I don't know. Oof. Anyway, Escaping the Self-Publishing Stigma at 1. 2:30, I'll be on a panel where we're talking about my first published book, so I'll be talking about Vatican Assassin and putting that out there in the world. And then at 4, I'm on a panel about learning from bad reviews. And can you? Should you? It's, one of those kind of topics. It should be interesting. So 5 different panels for Balticon 60 coming up Memorial Day weekend, next weekend. And if you want to find out more, just go to balticon.org. And they have the program all set up there, all listed there. So you can dive right in and get more details, not only about what I'm doing, but about the whole programming that they have going on. And before we get into the chapter, once again, a big thank you to patrons who help keep this whole thing going. And if you want to find out more and maybe become a patron, just go to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. We'll get into Chapter 26 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest, next on Glow in the Dark Radio.
My father told me I must live as both the wise, gentle, thinking turtle and the shark that must swim to survive. Zilf's team of combat engineers is dispatched to a subsurface ocean facility on a rescue mission. What they find is far more than they can handle. From Paul E. Cooley, Parsec Award-winning author of The Black, Station 3, now available from shadowpublications.com and iTunes. He also told me that sometimes the shark must eat.
Now here's Chapter 26 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest on Glow in the Dark Radio. After a minute or so of jogging, Alibi reached an intersecting corridor and stopped to take out his wand to check the route. The guard nearly ran into him. "Sorry," the guard said, panting a little. "Just trying to figure out which way the dock is sending me," Alibi said. "There we go." Alibi jogged down the right corridor, his shadow following a short distance back. The route turned out to be kind of scenic, taking Alibi through parts of the station new to him, or not so new but forgotten. Alibi opened a door onto a corridor that ran along the outer wall of the station, and discovered the upper wall and ceiling were transparent. He could see the stars and the surface of Ceres outside, and remembered he used to come here when he was a kid growing up. "Why'd you stop?" the guard asked. "Sorry," Alibi said. "Just had a sort of flashback. Used to come here to look at the stars." The guard looked up past Alibi. "Huh." Alibi kept looking up, thinking back to more innocent times. We gonna keep going?" the guard verbally prodded. "Yeah," Alibi answered. He looked back down. The safe security guard was sweating in his uniform, overdressed for a jog. "I can see you're enjoying it," Alibi said. He turned back to the corridor under the stars and ran ahead, as the guard grunted and began to run behind him again. The sealed door at the corridor's end opened onto the observation deck over the port. "Huh," Alibi was surprised. He got out his wand as he waited, holding the door for the guard as he caught up. Alibi looked at Krish's map. "We're going in here?" the guard asked. "I guess," Alibi said, double-checking the dock's map now. "Yep, just for a little bit." After a quick jog to another exit, Krish's route led them out of the observation deck to a series of ramps that took them down to the cargo level, the whole time keeping them just outside of the port's higher security zone. The next sealed door opened on an expansive open space, busy with cargo containers of different dimensions moving around on anti-grav pallets driven by operators of various races. "We're crossing the cargo interchange?" the guard asked. "Who came up with this route?" "Dr. Krishnavurti," Alibi said. "He told me he used to run it." "Maybe it was different then," the guard said. "I've seen that guy. Doesn't look like he runs much these days." "He said to be sure to stay on the pedestrian path through here," Alibi said. He consulted the wand. The path ran around the outer edge of the interchange space, starting over on their right. "This way." Alibi led his new friend around the cargo space's perimeter, out another sealed door, and back up another series of ramps to a second observation deck, showing off the Ceres Central port's symmetrical design. The deck on this side had been altered, however, shortened, much of it turned into ship's berths to meet increased demand when the station had proven popular. A security gate blocked access to that section a short distance past the door Alibi and his shadow used to leave the observation area. As on the port's other side, it was off the deck and onto another stellar station perimeter corridor, whose transparent top half allowed the runners to see out across the short plateau around them and into deep space. The stars out here didn't twinkle, but they did sometimes blink out for a second or two, as some distant asteroid temporarily eclipsed them. "Kind of pretty out here," the guard said. "Didn't know they had these hallways like this." "I grew up here," Alibi said. But I forgot about him. Didn't remember till I opened the door on the other side and looked up. The doors are the only drawback, the guard said. Hate to keep breaking up the run. Kind of a necessary evil running on a space station, I figure. Unless you're on a treadmill, Alibi said. He looked at the wand. The good news is, on this side, this observation corridor is about twice as long as over on the other side. Won't hit a door quite as soon. The guard grunted a laugh as he kept up behind Alibi. Hey, how long is this run? 2K, Krish said, Alibi told him. Little bit longer. Uh-huh, he said, winded. How's your leg? Alibi hadn't thought about the Rodé leg as they ran. Turning his attention to it made it throb and pinch a little, as if Alibi's awareness stirred it somehow. It's okay unless I think about it, Alibi said. Oh, the guard said, chagrined. Sorry. Nah, don't worry about it, Alibi said. You couldn't know that. The two men jogged the rest of the distance in silence. Another safe security guard was on post outside Alibi's hospital room when they returned. Alibi turned back to his running companion and extended his hand. Well, you know me. I'm Alibi Jones. What's your name, man? Safe Security Officer Jim Cooper, he said, shaking Alibi's hand. Coop. Nice to meet you, Coop, Alibi said. Officer Cooper. Thanks for the run, the guard said. A surprise workout. Thanks for letting me go with you. That's what just happened, is it? Didn't seem like it was optional, Alibi said. He regretted it. Cooper's mood shifted, darkened. Look, the guard said, plenty of us in the safe know you're getting worked over hard by the new government because of Kismet. But accident or not, a lot of people blame you for their dead relatives there. You might not be worried about you going on a run, Alibi Jones, but we in security are. Just trying to keep you safe, whether you like it or not. Thanks, Alibi said. Good run, Coop. Alibi turned and nodded at the other safe security officer as he walked past the guard back into his room. He mulled over the route as he lingered in the refresher, wondering where Krish was thinking he'd leave the path and the station, as he let vibrations and air currents whisk him clean. His skin began to tingle, and he knew he'd been in almost too long. He stopped the refresher. Must be something to do with that cargo area. But how am I going to get from there through port security? Krish better come up with something good. When Alibi stepped out of the door of his hospital room the next day, the safe security guard on duty was someone new he hadn't seen before. She glared at him briefly, then looked away to stare ahead into space and ignore him. I'm off, Alibi said to her. Ready for a run? I sure am, someone said from up the hallway. Officer Cooper was leaning against the wall, stretching his quads a short distance down the hall, dressed in a runner's jumpsuit and sneakers. Didn't stretch first yesterday, Cooper said. Paying for it. You again, huh? Alibi said. Why not? Cooper answered. Somebody should, and I might as well get in better shape. You can get flabby on these station gigs way too easily. Okay then, Alibi said. You remember the way? Sort of, the guard said. Me too, Alibi said. He pulled his wand from his runner's pouch he wore around his waist and called up Krish's map. Got this just in case. Alibi tucked the wand away and began jogging along the now semi-familiar route, Officer Cooper close behind. So very sure this protection is for my own good. He looked back at Officer Cooper. The guard waved at him. This Cooper guy may have good intentions. Someone at his level wouldn't know I was being held against my will, apparently. Might not, anyway. If the intent wasn't shared. The run was easier the second time through the route, as both men sort of knew where they were going. They kept at it. Alibi had to give Coop credit for stubborn stick-to-itiveness. He showed up to run with him every day for the next 7. Shit. I don't even want to keep doing this. Hope Krish has something for me soon. Some things. Alibi! On their 8th day jogging the path, Krish flagged them down as he and Officer Cooper were running past. Hey, Krish! How goes the running? Krish asked.
Pretty well, Alibi said. Hey, Cooper interrupted. Isn't this the guy who mapped this course for you? Alibi looked at Cooper and nodded. He turned back to Krish. This is Officer Cooper, Krish. He's been running with me. Coop, this is Dr. Krishnavurti, better known as Krish. Krish extended his hand. Cooper took it and shook it. I'm better known as Coop. Nice to meet you, Krish. He smiled. This is a pretty good course. You used to run it, huh? Long ago, Krish said. I hardly remember it, but I had the map. And when we decided Alibi needed the exercise, we thought this would get him moving. Motivate him. Seems to be working, Cooper said. So far, so good, Alibi said. Alibi, can you stop by my office later? Krish asked. I want to ask you some questions about your leg, how it's reacting to the running. The other doctors are expressing concerns with your jogging routine. Sure, Krish, Alibi said. Seems okay, though. Well, we'll make it official. Later, then? Krish said. Sure. Later, Krish said. Nice to meet you, Officer Coop. Krish turned and left the other two standing in the hallway. Alibi shrugged and started to jog again. Cooper caught up. What's he a doctor of? Cooper asked Alibi. You know, Alibi said. I have no idea. He laughed. He's an old family friend. Known him my whole life, and he's always seemed to know everything. Really smart, huh? Yeah, Alibi said. He's an expert on time travel, but I think he might be a doctor of alien technology, whatever they call that. He knows a lot about the tech from other races. That's why he's here working on my leg. I'm not supposed to know about your leg, Cooper said. Need to know. I told you about it last week, Alibi said, confused. Yeah, and when my superiors found out I knew, I got in trouble, Cooper said. Nothing big, but now I don't know about your leg. Gotcha, Alibi said. The two ran through the observation deck and down the ramps to the lower cargo handling area in silence. Alibi held the door open for Cooper as they entered the wide-open space. Sorry if I got you in trouble, Alibi said. Should have thought about that. It's all been pretty top secret. Not to worry, Cooper said. Wasn't even going to bring it up, just can't let you tell me anything else. Uh-huh, Alibi said. Gotcha. They made the rest of the run in silence. See you tomorrow, Cooper said, as they reached Alibi's hospital room. Yeah, Alibi said, breathing a little heavy. Good run. Yeah, the officer jogged off, hardly winded. Alibi laughed. And he said he was getting flabby, Alibi said to himself. Makes me look bad. Alibi hit the refresher in the hospital room and cleaned up after the run. Throwing on a fresh jumpsuit, he made his way over to Krish's borrowed lab and office. Ah, Alibi! Good, Krish said, as Alibi walked in. Alibi felt hair stand up on end, all over his body for a brief second. Tingles, eh? Force field, Krish said. Now, we can talk. Precautions? Alibi looked around the room, as if he'd be able to see the bugs. Nothing about it, Krish said. Pure caution. I don't trust this office. Ceres Central is not what it used to be. That man Constantine seems to be moving his own people into place here, wherever he can. I am sure it is bugged, but right now his people can't see and hear us. Yeah, about that, Alibi said. I really need to get out of here. Like, soon, Krish. Yes, Alibi, you do, Krish agreed. The other two have gotten permission to attempt another amputation. It's scheduled for tomorrow night. I'm not supposed to tell you, of course. The other two? The other doctors? Alibi asked. But that almost killed me. Vaughn and Curry have been pushing for it all the same, Krish said. And some of the new blood at the project agreed. Of course, the local Ceres authorities had no problem with it. Wait, Alibi said. Don't I have to give permission? Evidently not. Not with this bunch, Krish said. I do not approve. Damn.
That was Chapter 26 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest, part of the Adventures of Alibi Jones Chronological Omnibus on Glow-in-the-Dark Radio. Well, now the powers that be want to amputate Alibi Jones's alien leg, whether it kills him or not. The doctors on Ceres Central are not Alibi's friends. Except for Krish. Very good that Krish has had him running along a possible escape route. We'll find out if Alibi and Krish can keep the other doctor's hands off of Alibi Jones's leg in our next chapter. Chapter 27 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest on our next episode of Glow in the Dark Radio. As mentioned, the programming schedule for Balticon 60 is up. You can go find that at balticon.org and just look me up under People, Mike Luoma, and you can see the 5 different panels I'll be doing, one on Saturday at 5:30 and then 4 throughout the day on Sunday. As part of Balticon 60, I'm on 5 virtual panels. And if you're interested in becoming a patron or learning more about supporting the podcast, please head over to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. And a huge thanks to those of you who are patrons and do support this podcast. You help keep me going. You help keep me glowing. Sorry, couldn't resist. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma. Thank you again for listening to Glow in the Dark Radio. Glow in the Dark Radio. This podcast presentation is copyright 2026 by Michael F. Luoma and is protected under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 International License. CC by NCND 4.0. Music by Kevin MacLeod. You can find his work at incompetech.com. Mike's books are available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook, wherever you find books online. Get links and more details at glowinthedarkradio.com and mikeluoma.com. This has been a presentation of Glow in the Dark Radio.